All right, let's look at what's playing out in the global space. Now we're seeing Samsung. They posted strong Q3 profit there. The increase for the third quarter, that's for net profit. Its semiconductor business, we see that rebounded strongly, driven by growing demand for AI chips after falling behind smaller chip-making rivals in supplying the HBM3E products to NVIDIA. Samsung is working to gain ground as companies compete to commercialize more advanced HBM4 products. During an earnings call, Samsung executives stated the company was supplying its HBM3E products to all customers and offering HBM4 sample products for client testing. And to the automobile industry now, see Volkswagen reported a third quarter operating loss of 1.3 billion euros after being hit by heavy charges linked to U.S. tariffs and strategic changes in its Porsche unit. The result compares with a 2.8 billion euro profit a year earlier, but came in slightly better than the 1.7 billion euro loss expected by analysts. That was polled by Visible Alpha. The automaker said tariffs, along with costs and write-downs tied to Porsche's product overhaul, resulted in 7.5 billion euro in charges for the first 9 months of the year. The group transitioned to electric vehicles. That also continued to pressure profitability. That's the transition to electric vehicles. Then Hyundai Motors logged a drop in third quarter profit today as high U.S. tariffs on automobile imports and parts that weighed on the South Korean automaker's margins. Hyundai clocked an operating profit of 2.54 trillion won. It's about $1.7 billion for the 3 months ended September 30th, down 29.2% from last year. But the figure met Reuters and Bloomberg estimates. Q3 revenue rose 8.8%. to 46.72 trillion won, but the company's gross margin deteriorated to 17.7% in Q3 from 19.8% a year ago. Now, Samsung largely maintained its position as the world's best-selling smartphone brand in the third quarter of 2025, while Apple, a close second. That's data from analytics firm Omdia that showed that today Samsung Electronics Co. Limited shipped about 60.6 million phones in the third quarter, up 6% from last year, and a market share of 19%. While Apple Inc. Shipped 56.5 million phones, up 4% year on year, with a market share of 18%, and that's according to data from Omdia. Chinese electronics giant Xiaomi was the third largest smartphone seller, moving 43.4 million units at 14% market share, while China's transition took the number 4 spot with shipments at 28.6 million with a 9% market share. The company benefited greatly from demand in Africa, and that's according to Omdia. And the Bank of Japan, they left interest rates unchanged today, meeting market expectations for a hold as the central bank grapples with increased economic uncertainty and a looser fiscal outlook. Central bank reiterated its messaging that it will consider or continue to hike interest rates and tighten monetary policy if the economy and inflation move in line with its forecast. The BOJ slightly hiked its outlook for gross domestic product growth and consumer inflation in the fiscal year for 2025, but cut its growth forecast for 2026. That's the show today, and definitely looking at the terminal on investing.com. We're still trying to get direction for the local boss today. It's been back-to-back losses, but we'll see if we get a green close somewhat today. We'll bring you more updates by 1:30 on Business Incorporated. It was playing out with most of the markets that we track. Thank you for watching. I'm Ladi Williams from the team right here at Channels HQ. Have a profitable day. Bye-bye.